This isn't just another video. This is a reckoning, not with the world, with yourself. They've told you for years that you're afraid of dying, that every fear you have, every hesitation, every anxious breath is rooted in your inevitable end. But what if that's not true? What if you're not afraid of death at all? What if what actually terrifies you is the opposite? What if you're afraid of truly living? Because living fully, showing up in the raw, honest, untamed version of yourself, isn't safe. It isn't tidy. It isn't predictable. It asks something of you, something uncomfortable, something real. It demands you face your reflection, strip away the armor, the excuses, the distractions. It dares you to step into the arena with nothing but your truth. And that's terrifying, isn't it? You can go your entire life avoiding death, prolonging, pretending, distracting. But living fully, that's something you have to choose every single day. So let's strip away the noise. Let's peel back the layers. Let's talk about what it really means to stop existing and start living. Section 1, the illusion of safety. We grow up with a script: go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, get married, buy a house, save money, stay comfortable. This is the path, the roadmap to success. And yet, so many people walk that path and end up feeling empty. They do everything right and still feel wrong. Why? Because the script is designed for safety, not fulfillment. The world tells you to avoid risk, to minimize discomfort, to pursue what's reasonable. But here's the truth: safety is an illusion. You can spend your entire life playing small, avoiding conflict, making conservative choices, and still lose everything, still get hurt, still end up alone, misunderstood, disappointed. Life isn't safe. It never was. So what are you really doing when you cling to safety? You're numbing, you're delaying, you're surrendering your power in exchange for predictability. But the cost is steep. You lose your passion, your edge, your fire. You lose the very things that make you feel alive. You don't remember the safe days. You remember the brave ones, the bold ones, the days you took the risk, the days you felt everything, and the regret of never having those days. It doesn't whisper, it haunts. Section 2, death is not the enemy. Let's confront the shadow. Death, it terrifies us, silently, constantly. It's the unspoken undercurrent in every decision, every hesitation. But what if death isn't the villain? What if death is the reminder? Because without death, there's no urgency. Without death, we delay, we drift, we waste. Death gives life meaning. The scarcity of it, the fact that it ends, is what makes it precious. So when you avoid thinking about death, you don't become free, you become numb. Most people aren't living. They're waiting for the weekend, for the perfect moment, for someday. But someday doesn't exist. All you have is now. When you make peace with death, you stop postponing your life. You say what matters, you forgive, you leap, you dance, not because you'll live forever, but because you won't. Let death sharpen your vision. Let it clarify your choices. Let it awaken your presence. It is not the enemy, it is the alarm clock. Wake up. Section 3, the fear of living fully. If we really get down to it, you're not scared of failing. You're scared of trying and being seen. You're not afraid of heartbreak. You're afraid of feeling that deeply. You're not avoiding rejection. You're avoiding exposure. Because living fully requires you to be naked in a world that tells you to stay covered. It requires you to be loud in a culture that prefers you silent. Living fully is messy, it's vulnerable, it's unpredictable, but it's also electric, magnetic, transformative. Think of the people you admire most, the ones who light you up just by existing. Are they perfect? Safe? Predictable? Number, they're alive. And that's what you want. You want to be the fullest version of yourself, but fear is a liar. It whispers that being seen is dangerous, that being bold is risky. But what's the real risk? Spending your life as a muted version of who you really are? Living fully is an act of rebellion. It's choosing authenticity over approval, expression over suppression, presence over performance. And you don't have to wait until you're ready. You just have to begin. Section 4, Practices for Living Fully. So how do you do it? How do you cross the invisible line from survival into aliveness? Here's where the work begins. 1. Radical truth-telling. Tell yourself the truth, even if it breaks you, even if it destroys the identity you built. Then tell the truth to others. Say what you mean. Speak how you feel. Mean what you say. 2. Micro courage. Everyday big lives are built on small acts of courage. Ask for help. Speak up. Say no. Say yes. Let your actions reflect your inner fire. 3. Stop performing. You don't have to impress anyone. You don't need approval to exist. Take off the mask, even if your voice shakes, especially if it does. 4. Chase the aliveness. Make decisions based on what makes you feel. Don't chase safety, chase energy. If it expands you, it's the right direction. If it shrinks you, let it go. 5. Feel all of it, stop numbing. Feel the joy, feel the grief, feel the rage, the wonder, the doubt, the desire. That's the cost of living fully. You feel everything. 6th, serve something bigger. Purpose comes from contribution, from using your life to touch someone else's. Stop asking what life can give you. Start asking what you can give life. 7, live as if you're dying because you are. Make your days count, not by how productive you are, but by how present you are. Don't just survive your life, savor it. Section 5, the silent cost of not living. Let's talk about what you lose when you play it safe. You lose your voice, your art, your fire. You lose the intimacy that comes from real connection. You lose the wildness that comes from trusting your gut. You lose the satisfaction that only risk can bring, and in its place, a half-life, a numbness, a gnawing sense that something is missing. That ache isn't imaginary. It's your unlived life, screaming to be seen. If you don't face it now, you'll face it later, on your deathbed, in your regrets, in the what-ifs. You don't get to avoid pain in life. You only get to choose which pain, the pain of growth or the pain of regret. So here we are, not at the end, but at the beginning of a new way of being, a new way of seeing. This isn't about motivation. This is about liberation. You are not broken. You are buried under fear, under stories, under silence. But your soul is still on fire, and that fire is your compass. Follow it. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Don't wait for tragedy to wake you up. Choose now. Choose boldly. Choose fully. You are not afraid of death. You are afraid of truly living. But now you know. So what are you going to do with that truth? Start today. Start now. Because if you're lucky, you still have time. Use it, not to exist, but to live.